You want to be a regional hub, a regional leader. What do you need for that?
We are currently a regional leader in the development of technology, if you exclude Israel, for example. And we are a regional leader in terms of attracting investments from around the world into our digital economy companies. So out of $2.73 billion that were invested in the Middle East in 2021, 51% came to the UAE. So it just shows you how much excitement there is around this. The challenge we have today is the size of the market. The size of the market in the UAE is great, but it is not as big as we want it to be for these companies to expand.
So what market are you looking at?
So we're not looking at just the regional market. Yes, we're looking at creating global companies from the UAE that really expand to the rest of the world. We've had some such examples, which I think are great. So Media.net, for example, which was bought by Consortium in 2017, was a global advertising giant. It was bought for $900 million. But we want a lot more of these examples.
Your new BFF in the region, Israel, you're planning greater cooperation. It's not a question, it's a statement. You're planning greater cooperation with Israel as a way of getting that leverage.
Israel is an incredible partner, but you need to understand as well the new direction the UAE is taking as a country from a diplomacy perspective. We are trying to become the Switzerland of the Middle East. What that entails is we work with everyone. We ensure that we provide value for everyone as well. So if I use Israel as an example, Israel is a phenomenal example of a startup nation, a nation where its people are creating incredible outputs. However, how can we bring the diversity that we have, the 200 nationalities, the ability to attract people from around the world to come to the UAE and have a value add for Israel, while at the same time learning from Israel and creating such startups out of the UAE that can expand and become global?
In terms of AI and technology, do you see Israel as an important future partner to reach that goal of global companies based essentially all in the region?
So if you're talking specifically about the region, we're actually seeing every single country around us as a country that has an opportunity for us, and we can bring something to the table for it. If you're talking about globally, by the way, globally Israel is a very important player, but we're also in talks with Singapore, we're in talks with Canada, with the US, with the UK, China, and others. And we want to make sure that we have a non-biased approach when it comes to working with everyone to first push the envelope when it comes to AI development, and second, bring joint benefit for both countries.